Welcome to the show. Oh my God, we are having so much fun in here because the holidays are here. And of course, what do you think we're doing? But we're talking and having fun. And my first guest, who has been on with me now several years, and was a listener first. Now she's been on for several years. She's also one of my sponsors. I have with me Susan Tanko. She's the president of WCI Business Sales. And you have got to tell everybody first a little bit about you, a little bit about what you all do, because today we're going to talk a little bit about sellers today and kind of educate the audience out there. Welcome back.
Thank you, Carol. Thanks, everyone. Glad you're here today, all of you, and happy holidays. Merry everything. We're looking forward to a great 2026. WCI Business Sales started almost 60 years ago. And I get asked, what does WCI mean? Wanted to throw this in the conversation today. WCI was originally called World Class Investments. Not many people know that.
I don't think even I knew that.
And when the girls were answering the phone, we heard them saying WCI, WCI, and we're like, okay, I guess we could shorten that. But really, World Class Investments is what we started with and what we still do.
And you know, just recently, I have to bring this up right now, you were nominated Top Business Broker in Camelback East Village for 2025. Now, this is something that's very important about how you were nominated. This wasn't just from, I don't know how you would say it, but you earned this by your own customers. Your own customers nominated you. That's awesome.
They did, so it wasn't by people casting votes or being nominated and, you know, having all your friends and family call in to win something, which some of the magazines do, which is
Stuff
ironic.
in the ballot box.
Stuff in the ballot box. So we're really happy to earn this.
You should be, you know, proud, because you should be, and it's awesome. So congratulations to you on that. And all of the work that you do. And before we go into everything, I have to just say, you know, if you are thinking about selling a business, these are the people to call. You bring in how many years of experience with your company?
300 plus years with the agents that we have on board. So some of us have been doing this 40, 50 years.
And I don't know if anybody feels it, but I know I do every time I'm around you. The passion that you have for what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why you earn what you earn.
We do enjoy what we do.
Yeah, I know you do.
And it's different every day. We learn something new every day.
I think that's what's so wonderful about being able to network and be with learning new businesses, which is, I know what you do with that. And it's got to be fascinating, actually.
It absolutely is. So people are asking us what's popular, you know, what's coming up next year. So it's kind of like saying, how old are you going to be on your next birthday? Well, I'll be a day older than I was the day before.
Yeah.
So it changes every hour. So it's not jumping from 2025 to 2026. What will be different? What will be popular? But I can tell you that IT companies, e-commerce companies, which I have a really great one, please call me. Technical companies, medical companies, companies that provide services have always been our greatest seller, and construction is still hot.
The other thing that we want to talk about too is that when you work with someone, first of all, you work on a contingency basis. We're going to talk about that, you know, a little bit later. But what is wonderful with that, they're working for you to be able to get the most they can for you. That is a reason why you do what you do.
No upfront fees. We're not going to charge you to consult you. We're not going to talk you into signing up with us and paying us a monthly fee until some point you're ready to sell. We're not going to take a listing to put out an ad and then just go on to something else. We're very serious. If we call you, we have buyers that are calling us looking for your specific type business. Time is money in in your business and in ours.
So today, we are gonna talk a little bit about sellers, and the first question that you get asked, what is the first number one question that you get normally?
From sellers, have you ever sold my type of business before?
And what's your
Number
answer?
one question.
So what's your business?
Yeah. So my answer to that is in 60 years, depending on what the business is, I will give them an estimation of how many businesses like theirs that we've sold. But the truth is, we've never sold their business. We've never sold their exact type business because their business is different. That's why it's their business. So we need to sit with people and get to know them and see what the challenges are. And that is our consult right there. And then we tell you what the value in today's market at this time is. And a lot of times, Carol, I'll say you're not quite there. You need to file a tax return. That will really help your number, your sale number. So it's an entire process, but we consult as well. We just don't charge for it.
So, as, let's say someone calls you, they say, have you ever sold my kind of a business? And you're talking to them, and even if you have or haven't, it doesn't really matter because you got to get to know them. Their business is their business. It just makes sense. But when they're not maybe ready just yet, do you help them with getting all the things that they need to get in place so that they can get ready to sell that business?
We absolutely do. We can actually get the business pre-qualified to a point for a buyer before the buyer ever shows up, if we get everything in line and into place. The number one challenge with listings, and you can ask any agent at our office, is books and records that aren't in line. They must match up with the tax returns fairly close. They must be accurate. Can't have some personal items in there. We actually are working with, we just found this gentleman this year. I won't say his name online because I don't have permission on the radio, but he is doing analysis of these businesses, and of course he charges a fee. He's not with us, it's someone we recommend, but he will go through the books and records, and he's finding quite a few add backs that aren't apparent. So he's doing a deep dive, and then he does what's called a quality of earnings report. And the sellers are paying for this service, and it's increasing the value of their business. In one case, by over $1 million.
Wow.
What he found.
Wow. So you want to, when you're going to do something like this, you're going to want to make sure, number one, that it's done correctly.
Yes.
Right? Licensed broker is also very important.
You need to be licensed in Arizona. It's required because you're handling leases and or commercial real estate. So if you get caught doing this without a license, the Arizona Department of Real Estate will make sure that you never do it again in Arizona.
Well, this is what I mean. First of all, this is a reputable company, and you've been doing this for 60 years. It started 60 years ago. You yourself have been in well over 35 years or something.
No, I've been here almost 30 years, and incidentally, we pay for the people in our office to become licensed if they're not licensed. For instance, we have a gal that's been with us 25 years. Her name is Amy, and she is starting in January. She's going to school to get her license.
That's what they do. They help also people get a
Yeah.
job and work with
So
them.
she's not just going to be answering phones and filing and moving files around for us. I told her, Amy, your next step in life is to get a license. We'll pay for that.
So you can call them. Their phone number is 602-795-2005. Check them out on their website. It's WCI Business Sales .com.
Actually, it's not. It's WCI Broker, no S,
Oh,
.com.
you know what? I had it right.
And you knew that.
You know what? You know what? How long have I been saying the other one?
I know.
WCI Broker with no S.com.
That's it.
Oh my God.
That's it.
And you saw it right here, and I
Yeah,
was like, oh
yeah.
my God, it's right. WCI Broker without the S.com.
You got it.
Also, very, very, very important for everybody out there. If you're thinking about, even if you're just thinking, if it's maybe 5 years from now, have them have a consultation with you. It's free to do. Let them help you get ready, and you're going to be willing and able to do it. We're going to talk about that when we come back. You can check her out on her website. It's WCI Broker without the S.com, and the number is 602-795-2005. How bad of me. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I knew that would happen eventually when we changed our name to WCI Business
But for
Sales.
some reason, I just thought, okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
So
We caught it.
we are right back here where we were, so we
Right.
just kind of did that, but we're going to come back and do a couple of these and then come back to this. Is that okay?
Sure. We
Okay.
think we have time. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll know when we do it.
Because this last time is only the last time, right?
Yes.
When we come back on, yeah.
Yeah.
It goes so quickly here.
I know. That's another reason why things fly for me, because
Yeah.
my day goes so fast in
Yeah.
here that it's like, okay, what happened?
Yeah.
Right? When you are working with somebody, and this getting ready is probably the biggest part of the whole thing. This isn't something that you come into and then boom, 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 it's done.
Right.
It does take time, correct?
Right. Well, I think being ready really involves being mentally ready as a seller.
We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, because when I first started doing this a very long time ago, a lifetime ago, new agents make mistakes sometimes, and I would take a listing, I was ready to rock and roll, not realizing that the seller didn't have a plan B. And so I had 40 listings going at once. I was one of the top listers always for years. And I would lose a few listings here and there, and I thought, what am I doing wrong? Well, those people weren't ready. They didn't have a plan B. They hadn't talked to their spouse. They didn't realize what was on the balance sheet that was due and payable at close of escrow, that wouldn't leave them with enough money after taxes. There's all this stuff that goes into it, and boy, I'm telling you, I do it now. If you don't cover all that stuff when you sit in on the listing and cover all the ifs, ands, buts, and what do I owe, you can end up with a very distraught seller who will find a way to kill your deal.
The reason why they are like in this, you said in the beginning, before they even started, they really weren't ready.
Yeah,
That not even
they didn't
mentally.
even realize they weren't ready. So by having an experienced agent sit with you, they're going to ask you all these questions. Well, let's go over the balance sheet,
I would ask that
Mr.
first.
Seller. Yeah,
You know,
that
are
we
you really
always,
ready?
yeah. And what is your plan after this?
We have so much to talk about. Yes, that's important, because if you're not ready in total, really realizing what is going to happen at the end of the day,
Right,
what do you have planned for the next thing? What's the next
Right.
step?
right,
Because you have to be ready like that. This is a serious step
yeah.
that you're taking.
Especially if you meet with someone that's 35, 40-ish, I mean, they are still young. They better have a good reason that they're selling a $5 million company,
Why would they?
because they have something else usually planned. They have some other opportunity, they need the money to jump into that.
You know, I learned so much during the breaks. I really do. And I love, first of all, what I love too is also the experience that I get from you when I hear all of what you say. Oh my gosh, Susan, we can talk forever, right? So we were talking at the break about being ready, and this is a big part of it. You said it's not just being ready, it's being mentally ready. And a lot of times people are not.
Right, a lot of times they haven't even thought about plan B. All they're thinking is, last month what really sucked in here, I want out, I've been thinking about it for 20 years, I'm calling brokers. And people do call us, and they're like, just get me out of here. So you have to be ready, willing, and able as a seller, and you have to have a plan B. What are you going to do when you leave? Do you want to stay on for a year or two and consult? If that's what you want, let's write the agreement up that way and make the offer palatable for buyer and seller and for the bank. My goal is to get you out of there with 90 to 100% cash. The less risk for my sellers, my clients, the better.
The cash is king.
Yes. In some instances, people are selling for health reasons. People are selling because the business slipped. And in that case, that's where the consulting comes in, because if your business is slipping, you might not have a saleable business. We might have to wait, 18 months, 2 years. That happens.
What I love is that you do everything, when you work with them, if they're on a contingency basis, they want you to be able to sell your business at top dollar for you.
Right. It's not about us and our commission and pushing something through at the least price. We work on commission. We want the top price on it, and we want to know that we can get you out with the least risk.
And sometimes that means that if you're not really ready, let's sit down, let's talk about what you need to do to get yourself not only just ready with your books and all that, mentally as well, knowing what you're going to do too afterwards. Willing. They better be willing. If they called, they have to be willing. Have you ever had anybody not willing?
When I first started doing this, like I alluded earlier, sometimes the spouse, they wouldn't talk. And so then you get to the point where the spouse needs to sign, because this is a community property state. And the spouse is like, I didn't even know we were for sale. So now you've got a problem. So yeah, you need everybody on board.
That's the worst when that happens.
Oh, it's terrible. And like we were talking a moment ago, I think what's really important, where I kind of go first, is the balance sheet. How much do you owe? What are your obligations? What are your liens, your outstanding equipment and real estate liens? Because those things have to be paid off in asset sales, free and clear for the bank. And in most times, those things have to be paid off, even if it's a stock sale, because there's a bank involved and they want to lien those things and own them until the new buyer pays them off. So all of that comes into an account, and if you're not working with an agent who asks you for a balance sheet and goes through those things with you, they're uneducated, they're not being, you need to slow down and be careful.
And if you're gonna have that happen to you, you may not care, because you may not mentally realize that you can get yourself into a lousy position, either sell too low,
Yeah.
right? Or then, what happens when the deal explodes?
Not enough, yeah. I had a situation, it's been quite a few years ago, but us as agents had to jump in and make calls to the seller's debtor. He had 23 different debts. He was so far underwater. He was selling the business in the 500 range. He had almost $1 million in debt that we were unaware of. And so we jumped on the phone and started making phone calls for that seller and got his debt down to where he had to bring about 50 grand cash to the closing, but we saved he and his wife from filing bankruptcy by doing that. And we did not have to do that, but we felt that strongly about it.
Their phone number is 602-795-2005. You can check them out on the website. It's WCI Broker without the S.com. And let me tell you, this is like giving me chills. There's so many people right now out there that, especially now, I've been in business for a long time and you've been thinking about this. Give them a call. Let them talk to you. These are the people. These are the pros. This is the top. This is the cream that rises to the top. This is who we're talking to right now, Susan. Thank you for what you do. And helping them out there, not only educate them, but also be able to get the most that they deserve. Okay, the other thing that we want to talk about, we're going to go back down here. What do your clients look for in a broker? Let's talk about that.
So we spoke earlier, and their number one thing is, have you ever sold a business like mine? So I have several comebacks to that. But if we have sold a business like theirs, we have 60 years experience, and I can usually give them double or triple digits, especially air conditioning companies. I don't know how many we have sold of those. So some businesses are easier than others, I should say, just because it's so turnkey. We have so many buyers, and other businesses are so specific to that industry and so unique that people go nuts over them when we do a blind ad. We always do blind ads, and the phone just goes off the rocker because people want something that's different. So what's popular next year? Things that are different. IT, e-commerce, medical. People want forward-thinking businesses, and you don't necessarily have to have employees or real estate anymore. That's not really as valuable as it used to be. Turnkey businesses that are cash cows, basically, just turning the money.
Now, again, you don't charge a fee for.
No, we
you to-
work on strictly contingency, no upfront fees, we develop a package, we have been told we have the most beautiful display when we take a listing. It reads like a novel, it has a glossary and contents, it talks about the business, it talks about us as business owners at WCI Business Sales and our history. It has all the financials, which are ghosted. It's just a beautiful, presentation folder that's readable online. It's in a nice link. Sometimes it's hundreds of pages depending on the business.
Now, but when you sell, that's when you get paid, when you've sold the business, correct?
We put the buyer and seller together, we find the right fit, the right deal, the right packaging for lending. Sometimes the seller, I have a deal right now where the seller wants to finance the deal. He does not want the bank involved, and he wants to pay his taxes out over time. We think that's beautiful.
I do too, I mean, and there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
People don't realize, oh, nobody would want my business. Yes, there are. There are a lot of people. You said your phones go off
I've listed those, and those are the most grateful people. Geez, I didn't think I had anything. I only had a crew of like 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
And, they got $750 million. Yeah.
I love that. So what's
Yeah.
number 3 about talk? And
So when you hire a business broker, do they talk the talk? Are they grabbing numbers from somewhere else or somewhere they used to be? Or is it proven ability? Do they have proven sales? Do they have references? So ask those questions, meet with them, and you have to get along with each other too. You might have completely different views. Political is one of them, especially right now. And if you're not matched up perfectly, may or may not be a problem. I work with anyone.
I have to say,
hired to
I never
do
ask
the
anybody
job.
that.
No, I don't go there
What
either.
is your political belief
But if it
before I work
comes
with you?
up,
That just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work in business, but you have to
But
like
some
the
people do.
person.
Some people
You
don't.
have to like the person.
What's really important is that you have somebody that is there to help you, that is experienced,
Yes.
such as them.
Yes.
And they bring to the table, it's 60 years of experience, and they're gonna help you, walk you through it, because they want you to be ready. They want you to be willing. You have to be ready, not only just on paper, but in your mind, knowing what you need to do even afterwards. What's plan B? Also, be willing to listen and learn, and also to do what
Willing.
you say. Willing, that's willing.
Sellers need to be willing to do whatever it takes within reason to get this done.
That's what makes you ready, willing, and able, and that's what they're looking for.
Right.
Their phone number again, it's 602-795-2005. It's WCI Broker without the S.com.